train time. This may sound a little random, but I promise it's going somewhere. One of my favorite things to do is go with my fiance to bookstores and just see what I can find that's train related. For example, one of my favorites, Railways at the Turn of the Century by O.S. Knock. This is the 1895 to 1905 version. Just stuff like that that's kind of interesting to put on the coffee table or have in the collection. And from that alone, I'm sure you can tell this is an older book, and it's typically stuff like that that I find. You know, that or model railroaders, just things that you kind of expect. Here's another good one, Trainwrecks by Robert C. Reed, and this goes over 100 different train accidents and shows you so many different illustrations and explains to you exactly what happened. This is a favorite for my coffee table, but again, it's kind of an older book, and that's normally what you expect to see in the train section. Well, not this time. Imagine my surprise when I see this. Yeah, the classic Thomas the Tank Engine collection. This is a very modern print of the Railway series. Let's see, it was 2019. These were published in 2019 by Dean, which is an imprint of Egmont, UK. And again, just imagine my surprise when this, of all things, was there brand new. And believe it or not, they had quite a few copies, and the pile of them that was there was pretty dug into. It looked like kids were actually buying these to read them. And when I saw it came with that many books and it was just a new reprint of the Railway series, I knew I had to get it, and we had to talk about it. All right, and as we can see here, the bit that holds the books is pretty well detailed. It's got this blue background, it's got the Railway series written in red at the top, and the classic Thomas the Tank Engine here written in white and red. We also get this very classic illustration of Thomas right here. I believe this is from Thomas and the Trucks, and by the Reverend W. Awdry, of course. At the bottom, we have a little illustration of Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. The entire thing is lined in red with this little yellow track, and that is pretty much the exact same on the other side. The spine area is what actually has the detail. Now, here we can see the same illustration of Thomas, but pretty oddly, this one is now in yellow, and the one is not only smaller, but a lot higher up on his tank. Not sure if that's just a misprint or intentional, but yeah, there's that. And right below that, we can see every book included in this. Should I call it a bundle? Should I just call it a pack? I don't know. The New Age Railway series, I guess. Actually, I shouldn't say. It's just a new publication. It's the exact same thing, from what I can tell, as the old ones. But, I mean, now in a new format, I guess. And let's go ahead and take a look at these books. Nothing really besides that on the inside. Let's go. We've got the 3 railway engines here. We've got Thomas the Tank Engine. We've got James the Red Engine. We've got Thomas the Tank Engine again. And we've got Troublesome Engines all the way up to number 5. So the first 5 Railway series stories. I guess the best one to start with is the first one, 3 railway engines. And inside of this one, we can see, ooh, it's still hard to open. Again, who published this thing? It would be Dean. First published in 1945. This edition was published in 2019. So if you're interested in getting these, be on the lookout for that, I guess. The 3 Railway Engines by the Reverend W. Awdry, with illustrations by C. Reginald Dalby. So these are the Dalby illustrations. Nice. And yeah, this should basically be just a normal Railway series story, or the normal Railway series story with, let's see, I think there's more than Edward's Day Out in here. Yep, it moves on to Edward and Gordon. Then we go on to The Sad Story of Henry. Yeah, it's basically just, again, reprints of the old Railway series. But I mean, anything to see more Dalby illustrations. I don't care what anybody says. These go so hard. And of course, this book concludes with the final story, Edward, Gordon, and Henry, and has all of the illustrations of that. This is probably my favorite illustration from this entire set. It's definitely this one. It's so cool to see Henry being repainted in blue. Look how excited he is. I know Wooden Railway made a toy based off this, but we should have got more. Bachman, just an idea, I'm just saying. And that again is the 3 railway engines. I don't think we'll go through every single book because I'm pretty sure, you know, if you're watching this, my bad, you probably know all about the Railway series and what exactly is in these books. I mean, just like book number 2, Thomas the Tank Engine. It's the exact same format as the 3 railway engines. I think I forgot to mention they all have the same little Thomas here on the bottom that also has the drifting number 1, but again, yeah, it's the exact same thing. What is kind of cool is here on the side, you have the books numbered, so on the chance you did get them mixed up, that's there to help you. You know what, for the heck of it, we have to see the illustrations at least. These, okay, that is just beautiful. Starting off, Thomas the Tank Engine strong, of course, we have Thomas and Gordon, and again, these illustrations just look so nice. It's so cool to see these redone, reprinted in, I guess, a much higher quality. These look phenomenal. Let's see, the next story is Thomas's Train, and same thing, the illustrations are just phenomenal. These are very well made. I do want to say the pages themselves, as I'm sure you can tell from the light reflections, they feel a little flimsy. I've never really even opened these things, but they still have those wrinkles on them, and that's kind of annoying, but that's probably just a minor criticism. Again, it's worth it to see these illustrations again in this high quality. This just looks so damn good. All right, enough gushing about that. The next story should be, yep, Thomas and the Trucks, and I believe there's one more. There should be one more in there. Yep, that would be Thomas and the Breakdown Train, where Thomas, iconically, oh, and this is gonna be my favorite, yep, saves James. It's James's introduction story. There, the beautiful boy. And I mean, coming off of that, you already know, or probably should know, that book number 3 is James the Red Engine. And this is, again, if you know me, you know James is my favorite, so this is gonna be my favorite book. Same cover deal. We've got this beautiful illustration of James here on the front. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we haven't looked at the backs of these things yet. All right, we'll look at James's since he's the one I realized on. Again, it just says Railway Series number 3, James the Red Engine, and here is a little description of James, I guess, or more of the stories. James the Red Engine is the 3rd book in the famous Railway Series. In these stories, James gets a shining new coat of red paint, needs a bootlace, has trouble with trucks, and pulls the express after Gordon loses his way. So yeah, it's just basically, I assume, yeah, these are all just describing the stories you will read about, not really the characters. That was my mistake. But enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into James the Red Engine. Let's see these illustrations. That is just so nice. All right, so starting us off, we have James and the Top Hat, and same ordeal. These illustrations are beautiful, still gushing over them. Let's see. Next, we jump onto James and the Bootlace. After that is Troublesome Trucks, and the final one is, come on, James and the Express. And just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, James. We all needed that. All right, I'm kind of doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do and going through all the books. That is basically all you need to know. It is the exact same thing with Thomas the Tank Engine again, or Tank Engine Thomas again, my bad, and Troublesome Engines. They are just reprints of the old stories we all know so well, with the illustrations back to hopefully charm the new generation. Let's see, not to get too historical, I guess, but I think it was 1st grade. My great-grandmother got me a Railway Series book. It was the larger ones that had every story printed into it, and I was just in love with it. I would take it to school just to look at the Coldy Felt illustrations. It was one of those things, and I could totally see this serving as that for another kid. I mean, not everywhere has a spot, as you'll soon see, but they help, you know, kind of decorate my shelves a little bit. There's James with his, there's the Thomas shelf. Toby does not have a book from this, you know, pack, but he has his own, and there's, you know, some of them don't make a lot of sense, like Athena is sitting with the 3 railway engines, and of all people, Din with Troublesome Engines, but I mean, it is what it is. They are, they're still there.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.